You are not your physical body, thoughts, emotions, or reactions to your circumstances. You are pure, limitless energy. That's what you are. You're not your physical body. You're not the thoughts associated with that physical body. You're not the emotions associated with that physical body. You're not the reactions to that physical body. You're not how you feel. You are limitless, pure, unconcentrated energy. Your limitless energy, which you are, uses the body as a vehicle or as a vessel. So you inhabit the body. The reason that we call death is because you, the actual you, leaves the body. Doesn't mean that you forsake the body, though. This is where we enact the energy of balance. So 0 is the soul. 1 is you. 2 is the balance that comes from the human body. So you must care for the body by what you eat, first off and foremost. You got to think about what you eating. Be conscious of that. I'm not even going to say nothing about it, but I'm just saying exercise, eating, all of the things that allow your body to be optimal so your limitless energy can shine through. Sometimes in spiritual communities, they'll go back straight for what you want and what you're trying to manifest and never talk about what you're eating. Never talk about cleansing and fasting and the water. Since your body is the vessel or the container for the actual soul, it's like having a dirty car or a dirty cup. You wouldn't drink out of a dirty cup, so your body must not be dirty and unclean and impure. That's balance. The reason why I say that is because you're trying to match your soul. You're trying to match your energy. Your body should be in alignment with who you are as a soul. Your hair, everything. Can't be so busy and so caught up with confusion and destruction that you don't take time for yourself. So the first step to spirituality is relaxation. If you don't relax, well, what are you stressed out for? What's the reason that you're stressed? It's mainly because your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions to circumstances, but that's not you. So the time that you spend in stress is the time that you spend in illusion, glamour, and Maya, and there is no win for that. The goal is to raise your vibration through spiritual modalities, and the first step is to relax. Parasympathetic system activation. You can read in my book, Chakra Nova. Raising Kundalini is not as hard as you think it is, especially if you don't have any peace in your mind or in your heart or in your body. So a lot of it is just repressed and recessed anger. And all it does is has you hyperactive and going for the gusto and living your best life. But you're not relaxed. You're not at peace. And a lot of people like you. A lot of people know you. A lot of people may even love you. But this is a very personal endeavor. Nothing can happen until you establish real peace within your body and activate your actual parasympathetic system on a consistent and normal basis. This is why I consistently say you are a spiritual being having a human experience, because that spiritual being is your grace. And it is a rather amazing, no pun intended. So the first step to spirituality, I'm going to just keep saying the first step because I don't know what step I'm at this point. But the continual first step to spirituality is there is two versions of you. You have a higher self, and then you have a physical self. That is the whole you. But this is not the soul. Sometimes people confuse the higher self with the soul. They think that they're just one and the same. But your soul is your most primal root understanding. It is the seed. The thing about seeds is seeds bring life, and they also are there once the life is over, right? So say, for instance, you eat an organic orange. It has a seed in it, right? And that same seed, if you plant it and care for it and nurture it, it'll grow you more oranges. Human beings are that way, and so is our spirituality. Within each woman is the potential for children. But each man is the potential for children. But our souls is the same way. So we also have a potential self that is the soul that can birth a higher self and a physical self. But the ultimate goal is for you to bridge that gap between you and your higher self, your physical self and your non-physical self, your physical self and your spiritual self. Binding those two is the goal for spirituality. Not what you manifest, not how popping your business is, not how viral your posts go, how many likes you get, how much people support your business, nothing like that. It's a very simple, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'll give you another caveat that when you bind your soul and when you bind your higher self and your physical self, rather, you get all that you want and more. So that's just a quick caveat. So the reason that I'm doing this video is because I have a book bundle on my website that I feel like people should get, but they might not understand like why they should get it or the reason for having it. And for me, the main reason that I think shadow work, understanding your chakras, and astrology is important is because it helps you understand the whole version of you, the spiritual version of you, the cosmic version of you, the deeper, darker version of you, as opposed to just understanding your physical self, understanding your thoughts, understanding your emotions. See, these are things that you already know. These are the things that have led you to the point that you're at already. My goal is to lead you farther and lead you closer in tune with yourself to get what you want plus. By simply uniting your energy and understanding your energy and sitting with your energy and really mastering yourself. One of the taglines for my book, Chakra Nova, is "You are the book." So it's very important to study yourself through journaling, but journaling with a purpose, journaling with the structure, journaling with the understanding in reference to your chakras, in reference to your astrology, in reference to your shadow. I feel that these things are very important. They've been very important for me. Because when you talk about magic and you talk about spirituality, you're also talking about an indirect way to get a direct result. And if you're constantly trying to build up your spiritual life by dealing with your body, by dealing with your thoughts, your emotions, it's like you're playing in the gym. And to really play in the real game, you got to really test it. But how do you test it? You test it by just doing normal shit, living a normal life. You live your normal life, do normal shit, but your energy is tuned in. Your chakras is activated. You understand that you a fourth house dominant person, so most of your energy is going to be centered around the house. Or you a 10th house centered person, so most of your energy is going to be centered on your career. Or you a 7th house dominated person, so most of your energy is going to be centered on your marriage or your partnership or your business. You notice about yourself, so you're not going to be playing basketball at the gym more than you going to be studying law. Right? Because you got a lot of Libra in your chart, and you understand what Libra means and what it represents to you and the joy that it gets for being your relationship's paralegal. But before, you didn't know it. You didn't know nothing about your purpose. You didn't know nothing about your chart. You didn't know nothing of what the houses means. Now you got some of a grasp in how it relates to you, and you live in accordance with your chart. You live in accordance with your shadow. And this is just one level. This is just my contribution, that I feel like these books that I put out was spiritually channeled to me, because I don't even realize who that person was that even wrote those books. Like, if you talk, like, I'm writing a book right now and it's the hardest thing ever. I'ma still write it, but it's more of a channel. Understand, like, all of that stuff is like very serious and very real. But like anything, I can't take a shower for you. I can't do the work for you. And just buying the books is not enough. You got to really understand why it is that you should understand your chart, versus saying, I got some books from Hood Mystic that I half-ass read and fuck it. I don't, I still study my chart to this day, right? I still study the transits and how they relate to my chart to see what planets and what houses are in my chart to where I need to put my focus in. An example of that would have been Pluto has been in my 3rd house since 2022, and I just been a little bit more vocal, a little bit more communicative. I'll even go one step further. I probably said communication more on my channel in 2022 than I've had my whole entire time. I've been on YouTube for probably like 5 years. In these 2 months, I probably said the word communication more than the whole 5 years. Well, 3 months, I guess, right? End of March. So it's subtle, but it's powerful if you just fucking pay attention to it, right? As opposed to, like, you can wake up in a dark room and never cut on a light, fam. And nobody gonna tell you to cut on the light, because everybody in that dark room with you, and all y'all doing is bumping into each other, fighting each other, hating each other, because the reason is y'all haven't illuminated yourself from the inside, and nobody is the exception to the rule. You never gonna come into a situation where you've accumulated all of the money to whereas you don't have to do the inner work. It's like, I don't really put no energy into empty houses, the same way as it's a lot of houses in the world, but the only houses that I give a fuck about is mine, right? If I had 5 houses, I would care about those 5 houses. I never really cared about a house that I never had nothing in. Another important thing that I would like to get across is, like, you can't really do everything. And you can't really focus on everything. That's not even the nature of focus. The nature of focus is to kind of really be singular. So when I teach astrology, I feel that it's very important to really understand your sun sign, really understand your moon sign. And if you get to other shit, you get to other shit. That's awesome. But you'll never fully comprehend your sun sign and your moon sign as long as you live. All that extra shit is just like, it sound good and it feel good to be advanced. But I'm talking about how you express yourself in the real world. And I'm talking about how you operate at night. And I'm also saying, don't not deal with Mars, Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that to you may or may not get an understanding. Like, and then it happens with your chart. So say for what's in your first house? What's in your first house? What planets are in your first house? The planets that's in your first house, that's your more dominant planets. Those are the planets that people see. Them are the planets that people pick up on you. So for me, that's Pluto. So I study my sun, my moon, and my Pluto transits, as I just referenced. Pluto is in my third house. So I get a lot of my transformation through communication. So every day I communicate. So that's the planet that you really need to pay attention to. Its transits, any conjunctions that's happening in the transits. Where is Pluto at? Where is Venus at in your chart today? Right? Venus is kind of fast moving. So that's something you want to pay attention to every month and a half, just to get an overall feel. Like, I pay attention to Pluto being in my third house for the next 12 years. But everybody different. See, you a goddess, so you would be more tapped into Venusian aspects and Venusian energy. And you Jupiter as well. We talking about Jupiter this Monday. I'm elucidating the concept of Jupiter in the solar plexus this Monday on learnsidereal.com. So be sure to join me. The recording will be available for everybody, but that's going to be something that'll help everybody as well. Understanding the power and the mental capabilities, and how most people don't ascend to Jupiterian levels and Jupiterian understandings. Most people is smart ass animals. You hear me? So if you first house Jupiter, first house Venus, then you got kind of like a natural God-like flow about you. And that could be good or bad, because you got to actually, first house, people going to treat you like that. But since people treat you like that, that don't always mean you treat yourself like that. And the most important thing is how you treat yourself. So the idea is to really Venus your ass and really Jupiter your ass as much as possible. Constantly pour into yourself. Constantly live up to your fullest potential, because people going to judge you based upon your fullest potential. It's like people not going to say, well, it's all right that you was just a normal person, Shima. That's fine, Shima, that you was just regular. You got to do something amazing. So, heavy is the head that wears the crown, but it's all, everything is everything. Yeah, but that's why I say it's very important to understand astrology and understand your chart, because you'll understand a lot about yourself, and you'll stop giving a fuck about empty houses, right? Or you will stop walking around in the dark in reference to what the fuck you could actually do. It was something that I read about fucking Neptune in the third house or some shit like that, and you should be a psychic. And I think that next day I did live readings on my Facebook channel, and I did pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. So it's just like, I'm gonna keep doing that. So what I'm saying is, I never thought about ever doing nothing psychic or nothing like that for real ever. Like really thinking about it? No, hell no. But reading about it and like understanding that that's a placement. So Neptune being the planet of spiritual development, third house being the house of communication, and I might have a niche in that. I might be a psychic. So I just tested out the theory. And then when I tested out the theory, it's like funny I said that. I just told y'all like I did. Like, I think when I did my first Facebook Live, Angela was on my first Facebook Live that I ever did. And it was because I read about Neptune being in my third house, being a psychic, and that really charged me. That really elucidated my mind to something that I could possibly be, something that I never thought I could be. So that's in studying your chart. But that's my chart. You might find something completely different in your chart that'll completely push you in a direction that you never thought you would go. But it's very important to study your chart. Another thing that I do want to talk about is spirit guides in reference to, okay, you have your soul, which is your primal existence. You have your higher self, which is your spiritual self that counteracts your physical self. Right? So it's you, the physical self, and then it's you, the spiritual energy. So in the space of you and your spiritual energy, that's one and the same. That's like me getting in and out my car. Whether I'm in my car or out my car, I'm not my car. So your body is like your vehicle. Okay, your body is your car. Your spiritual energy inhabits your body, but somehow we don't fully comprehend that, and we imagine that our vehicle is completely us, shadow of a doubt. And the people who made our vehicle family members. So you got your Dodge Darts, your Dodge Chargers, right? Your goddamn Trackhawks, whatever, right? So you are not the vehicle. You are not the body. This is spirituality 101. And you haven't fully grasped that. None of us, this nigga gonna pull up right next to me. I know it's a cool spot, but still, nigga, like, I like some air. Anyways, man. As long as you think that you the body and what the body do or don't do, you are 5 million steps behind. You don't get it. And it's all right, because everybody going to travel. Everybody going to make money. Everybody going to do all of that shit. That don't matter. Right? But at the same time, you are spiritual energy. And that's what you came down here to figure out. It don't matter how much money you make. You're gonna make a lot of money. Let's just imagine that we all rich and we can all travel wherever the fuck we want to travel to. Now what? A lot of people, y'all, family, a lot of people who got millions and millions of dollars come to this crossroad where they get everything that they want, or everything that you said that they were supposed to want, and it's not enough. They got millions in the bank. They can go to fucking Budapest. They done been to Abu Dhabi, Dubai. They done been to fucking Brazil, everywhere, Thailand. They done been to fucking to the Buddhas, seen the Buddha in India and shit. Not enough. Because it ain't about where you go, because everywhere you go, there you are. It's about realizing where you are and who you are. And this is the crux. This is the true work. I am not the body. I inhabit the body. I am pure consciousness. I am infinite consciousness. This is why when we start things, and the more that we begin to work on it, and the more that we perfect it, the better we are at it. Because we are that. We already know that. We know it. We just have to work our mind and bodies and emotions into integration with what we already know. And when we see ourselves in our perfection, we can also reflect on the time that we didn't know, but we also did know. That's why we practice. That's why we work so hard to become great, because we seen something within ourselves of some form of mastery. So it doesn't matter what anybody is saying online in reference to spirituality. If you can master the fact that you are not the body, you will be advanced. And a person will stun on your ass, dog. A motherfucker is going to stun on you. They just had this shit with Kanye West. That nigga got 6.6 billion. If you make that your goal, you a fucking fool, right? At the end of the day, you got to figure out some joy of not making 6.6 billion and being cool with it for the rest of your life. Finding something about doing what you love. And this brings us to spirit guides. You got to have somebody that has transitioned, that you respect, that you work with, that you listen to, that you fuck with, that knows you, knows your energy imprint, and you have a goal, and you work with that goal, and you practice. It could be anybody. Neville Goddard, fucking Bobby Hemmett. It could be anybody, but you need a spirit guide. I'm trying to break down the basics of spirituality without no mumbo jumbo, so you can actually separate this shit. Because a nigga just tell you in the reading, your spirit guide said that your soul needs to connect to your higher self, so your higher self could help you mate with your twin soul. Just a whole bunch of nothing, right? Just a whole bunch of keywords and buzzwords. But your spirit guides is going to help you live out your dreams in the 3D. Because you got to have a game. You got to have something that you're doing down here. Your spirit guides will help you. Even if your spirit guide is a guide that help you just fucking sit in the sun all day. Find somebody that did that and lived their best life, sitting their fucking black ass in the sun all day and model their steps. If that's what you want to do, right? Because that's the hardest thing to do is nothing. A lot of people waiting for that time where they don't do shit, and that's the time that y'all be actually spending right now. You actually on the fucking vacation bliss when you sit and watch Netflix for 2 hours. Who has the fucking time? Who has the time to go out and fucking just, just do nothing? Like take a break. A break from what? What are you actually taking a break? No, I'm not saying you don't have to. Your spirit guide can be somebody that's alive. It don't, I guess, transition energetically. A lot of people latch on to Bobby Hemmitt's energy as if he has transitioned. That energy that was on top of Bobby Hemmitt is not on top of Bobby Hemmitt any longer. And so this is another thing that we need to understand about spirituality. You can house specific energies and entities. And these energies and entities might lead you down a path of success and bliss. And then once that spirit leave you, it'd be like, what the fuck? You can't even do the things that you did. It's been that world famous artist that you love so much. And then you seen him 20 years later on the stage. You like, that is not Bobby Brown. That can't be Bobby Brown. The vessel is still there. Probably part of the higher self is still there. But the actual catalyst that had him fucking dancing and moving on the stage like he was is long gone, my nigga. So you can't actually play with this spirituality shit. I would never play with this spirituality shit at no level or utilize it for my benefit or nothing like that. I would just use it to get connected to my damn self. Like, I'm trying to understand myself because I understand that I'm consciousness. I'm limitless. I need to understand that. I'm not about to tap into no demon or no fucking entity outside of myself in the forms of I need to be successful. Because if I understand my soul and I unite my higher self with my physical self, success is one of the benefits and caveats. So, quick review and then I'll end this video. It's the higher self, which represents the energy human, the energetic human. And then you have the soul, which is connected to your solar plexus, your sun. It's what you digest. So a lot of getting back to yourself is what you eat. A lot of women that I come in contact with, they really fuck with me and they enjoy my content, but they'll fucking eat a fucking steak and a chicken and a pork sandwich. And I'm like, I don't really speak on that. Like, I'm really the type of person that's like, that's not something that I can say that you can really be tapped. Like, this is my personal opinion. Like, I can be completely wrong, but it's like, you can't really fuck with me because it's all about digestion. For me, I tell, like, every day I'm telling people digestion. It's all about digestion. It's all about fasting. It's all about shit. I'm not eating as soon as I wake up. I'm for sure not eating no fucking bacon. And I'm for sure not eating no chicken. And I'm for sure not eating no fucking beef. And you can read all of my books. You can watch all of my videos. But if you choose to do that, I'm saying, if you go and listen to me and you value the things that I say, the reason that I speak this way is because I don't fucking eat meat. I can think clearly. So why do you, if you like, I'm trying to understand and get to your level and I'm working hard, I'm doing this, I'm taking that, I'm doing that, but I'm still eating chicken. Well, just stop eating the fucking chicken and you will be miles ahead of the game. Eat more green food. Period. And that's your soul. Your soul is not trying to eat no lion. Your soul is not trying to eat no platypus. Why you not going to eat your dog, but you going to eat a cow? Please, I'm about to get off this live. Please answer why you not going to chop up your dog tonight? Because your soul don't even think on that level. Tell me. Why is you not going to eat your dog tonight? And I'll fucking shut down all my fucking social media. but you gonna eat some chicken. If you can tell me why you eat one animal over the other animal, I'll leave you the fuck alone. Just tell me. Just tell me. Anybody, comment on this video. Put in the chat. The reason why you don't eat Fido's ass, but you will eat a pig's ass, please tell me the reason and the logic and the rationale. Most people don't get to the solar plexus because they're inundated with the fact that it's okay to eat meat. And please explain to me how. If you're not going to take a bite into your cat, then why you going to take a bite into a cow? If you can explain those two logics, I'll leave you alone. I naturally am repulsed by eating a dog, so wouldn't I be naturally repulsed by eating a cow? But this is my spiritual development because I came into spirituality thinking that I could eat whatever the fuck I wanted to. But, you know, my day is over with, and I know that pissed a lot of people off, but just answer the question and I'll leave y'all alone.